Grand Rising, Grand Rising, Grand Rising. Welcome to the Rising Show with Empress Ella G. And I'm ScurvMedia.
Grand Rising, Brother Lance.
General all-around maintenance man.
Yeah.
I'm out floors. I sweep.
Yes, you do.
I keep things clean.
You do a very good job. Thank you so much.
Whatever you need, I'm here for. Good this morning, and I hope you do too.
Yes, I think I missed that little bit right there, but that's okay.
Big props to Romy Rome, man. He was right here.
Romy Rome, number uno. Numero uno. He was waiting.
Brother. Yes. You know, I don't know. We people say sometimes, they say, wow.
Hi, Eric. I hope all goes well for you today. Sorry about that.
Yeah. People say sometimes, how do you get your topics? Do you research? No, it comes from the spirit. It comes from the inside, whatever is needed. You know, sometimes cooks, AKA chefs, they don't do recipes. They have an instinctive feel for what is needed. And so while we'll see something during the day and say, wow, that would be a good topic, lots of times it's just what hits us on our spirit.
Yeah.
And when you do it that way, 9 times out of 10, it's something that's going to talk to somebody out there. It's not a matter, well, we're so brilliant, we're just going to come up with these topics. Nah, I'm not saying I'm not brilliant. I know you're brilliant, but a lot more brilliant than I am. But all I'm saying is that it's intuitive. It's the same way when a parent sees a child come home from school and the child had a bad day. Maybe they were bullied. Maybe they were made to feel embarrassed, or maybe the teacher said something that embarrassed them. And even though that child may have even forgotten, and they're playing with the other students and friends when they come home, there's a certain connection that they have that the mother, and I say mother, it could be the father, but usually it's the mother because she carried that child for 9 months. And you look in that child's face and you say, baby, what's wrong?
You know, instinctively.
Dismissed it. They said, no, come on. Talk to me. What happened today? And the child, very young, starts to cry. And that's how you know.
Yeah.
So I've learned in this lifetime to navigate intuitively. And it has saved me so much. It has kept me away from things that were partial disasters, or, you kind of got your tire in the mud and couldn't get out for a while, but you saw the mud patch before you got there. You get out of there because you didn't go all the way in with all 4 tires.
Right.
So that's how life is. After a while, you accrue certain data because we are the ultimate computers. We're bedazzled by the new model computer or phone, what it can do. But again, you have to applaud your creator for making you in such a wonderful way that you're not merely a computer. Not to go off, but look at all the systems of the body encased in the rib cage. And then you let it out. The nervous system, digestive system, the skeletal system, the reproductive system, all of these, different circulatory system, all intertwined and working so well in such a compact package to do certain things. Look, you see a computer, right? The computers are getting smaller and everything, but it doesn't move about the earth on its own with the system in it. It sits on a table, it's in your hand. You got to input certain things. We're receiving so much information. We're receiving so many decisions, or not receiving, but making so many decisions, that we are brilliant in the way that we're made. But I feel that most of us don't use those abilities as much as we could. Like they say, I don't know, maybe it's different for different people. Maybe a brilliant person uses more of it, but they say that we use about 5 or 15%, 5% of our brain capacity, power, and the rest of it is just sitting there. So imagine if you just move that bad boy up to 6%. Forget saying, oh, if I did 99%. No, if you just did 6% as opposed to 5.
Right.
How wonderful, and how much of an impact, because if you're using 5, you know,
and you're doing so much. Yeah.
A whole other fifth put on. Man. And if we're doing brilliant things with the 5%, what if it was 10? So look within and move on an intuitive level, because you see what's around us may not always be for us.
Right.
Certain situations that are, and certain situations that aren't. And it's up to us that we're on a highway of life, that we may have three lanes on the highway, sometimes 6, sometimes 4, but let's just say 3 for the most part. If you're in the slow lane, or in actuality, you're in the fast lane, and the fast lane blocks up, it doesn't move or comes down to a creep. If you're thinking, you're going to look ahead and say, oh, there's a truck in this fast lane that broke down. Now, 3 lanes, a truck is not supposed to be in that 3rd lane. People don't know that in America, right? Only to pass in some kind of emergency or whatever. So if it breaks down, and you can compute in your mind and say, okay, it's a blockage there. Let me move into the center lane. Let me move into the slow lane that might be moving. You just can't say it's a rule and say, well, this is the fast lane and I'm going to sit right here because we're supposed to be going fast. It's up to you to navigate and assess what's going on around you. And that's the difference between those of us who preserve ourselves as opposed to those of us who succumb to the leeches around us and the negative energy around us. Because if you look at the natural order, and I don't want to say animal world like we're above, but we're supposed to be navigating a little higher. But we dismiss the so-called animal world because we're arrogant in our status, which we don't utilize our status. And that's why lots of times the animal world is more advanced than us, who are humans. Right. Because some of us are straight stupid. We don't utilize what we have on the inside. And we don't watch around us like in the so-called animal kingdom, where you see animals who have glossy coats, healthy.
Right.
There's no Walmart or Target or grocery store or corner store or restaurant for the so-called animals. They have their instincts. And we as human, H-U-E, as brilliant as we are, human, people of hue, I'm not going to say people of color, but melanated people. Whatever you call yourself, and the argument goes on and on and on. I don't get into that. But I'm a black man and a stolen African, and I'm in Africa. Right. And as a joke, I told somebody, you know, when I lived in America, if I drew a piece of artwork, well, you're an African American who's doing African art. Well, I got rid of America. So if I draw something else as an artist, is it not African art? American influence. So we have to understand where we stand in this world and in this life, and who's around us and what's around us in the so-called animal kingdom. They do so well. So when you see these little clips on Facebook or YouTube of one animal going after the next, this lion going after an alligator, you're like, man, this guy's got to be bad to go after an alligator, because I can't deal with either one. You're going, you're going by your intuition, but at least it's a sincere order in the animal kingdom when they go after something else for food.
Exactly.
In our world, it's not a sincere thing. We are higher creatures. We are higher beings. So when we go after the next person, they're leeches, spiritual leeches that can do for themselves, but they refuse to do for themselves. See, in the animal kingdom, it's not like that. There's not, well, I'm not going to go into and get this alligator because there's an opportunity downtown for me to do better. And if I do better, I can have all the food that I want without killing something. No, they have an excuse. So you can't call those animals, or say in the animal hierarchy on the food chain, you can't really call them leeches. They're left to their own wits.
Right.
But for the most part, they'll be okay, because they have the intuition to not get caught slipping. And when they do, that's when you see somebody get caught and used for food.
Absolutely.
But you excuse that because that's the order of that world. But we're supposed to have a higher order as so-called higher beings. Like I said, we don't always utilize that.
Right.
We don't always utilize that. Most of the time, we don't utilize it. We're moved by emotions. We don't logically say, I have to move forward, and this is what I need to do without stepping on the toes of my fellow man, fellow sister. Sister. That didn't sound right. But anyway, you have to,
fellow sister, indeed.
Fellow sister, right? What is it, a code word for lesbians? Hey, my fellow sister. The thing in this world. So we don't have to step on somebody's toes. There's always a way around. We don't have to get frustrated because there's another lane that we can always go in to ascend, to realize our vision.
Right.
But some of us are just damn evil. Even a leech in the animal kingdom has an excuse to do what it does because it's in an order where that's what it's made to do.
Right.
What excuses do these people have who are spiritual leeches? So therefore, when you are nice, when you are accommodating, when you always seek to be the one to move on a higher level and always look out for everybody else at the expense of your own ascension, you get taken by these leeches. They watch you. Human leeches in human form, who don't give a damn about you. But the minute that you can't do something for them, behind their Colgate smile, they want to call you selfish.
Right. Right.
It's not good to be selfish, but it's good to be selfish when you're dealing with a leech. And they will tell you, oh, you're getting selfish. No, translation, you can't use me anymore. I'm going to use my goodness for the people who truly are in need with a good heart. If you're hanging around me and call yourself a friend, but you are siphoning off my life force for your advantage, and that's the only reason why you're around me, you are gone.
Right.
So I tell people who are listening, assess your life. Assess your energies. You get up in the morning after a full night's sleep and you don't have energy. You spend a day or two on the weekend and you say, I'm going to shut out the world and just meditate. But when Monday morning comes, or whatever your Monday morning may be, depending on your work schedule, you find yourself with no enthusiasm to do a damn thing. Right. Something's wrong because the system you were made in is perfect. Ain't no nothing perfect. Yes, the order is perfect. It's only when you fall off of the order, the natural order, that it may appear to be not working, but something's wrong. Look, it rained all night down here in Accra, Ghana. That's part of the order. It may be inconvenient for me on certain dirt roads that I walk down, that I got to walk around the puddles that are there, but those puddles and the rain that came down is going to nourish the plants. So later on, when I walk down the street a couple weeks from now, that mango that is going to be that much sweeter. What's the purpose of even the things that are inconvenient? I can deal with those, but there's no purpose for the leeches that are on us and around us. And that's why immediately we must cut them off and immediately take back what's yours.
That's right.
You see, the leeches are just like that 10 cents or that 89 cents that comes out of your checking account that you agreed to in something that you really didn't need. But that little bit of money flies under the radar and you don't really notice it when your eyes skim down when you go on the computer to check your account. You see the thing that's $35. You see the thing that comes out that's $150, those monthly bills that you have automatically coming out, but you don't notice that time in your mind. I'll get back to that later. You done forgot what it was for.
Yep.
So when you now don't have the time for it, it continues to siphon the money out of your account. Right. So for example, if something more came out and you don't notice that 89 cents. But if something came out of your account that you said, okay, I have the money for it, but you didn't put it in right away, and now your account is 55 cents. 55 cents. Well, guess what? Here come that 89 cents coming out of your account, and now you went over. And hopefully you have overdraft protection, but you still got to pay for that with that $35 because of you having that overdraft protection. So that little bit of 55 or that little bit of 89 cents came and messed up the order in your life and caused your life to be in a state of disarray. And so how does that translate to real life? That translates to real life because if you have all of these leeches, not the nice, good people who deserve the benefit of your life force.
Right.
Again, I'm not saying everybody's a leech. Most people aren't. Most people are considerate, but you must keep the checks and balances by managing the checking account of your life force.
Exactly.
But now you're in need. And you've given out your life force all these years to certain people who are right there with their hands out to take it. But you're really in need now. Right and good. And it's not a matter of just money. Even though the gentleman inside the banner has money, but the money represents your life force, which can be on so many multiple levels. But this person may not even be taking money, but they may always need a shoulder to cry on in a dysfunctional relationship where that man is beating the woman, and every time they have an incident and need soothing and call you 12:30 in the morning, even though you know you got to get up 5 a.m. in the morning, you lend an ear for them. And how many times have you gone to work tired because of this person, but you're giving yourself? That person doesn't want to correct their situation. They like to be in that dysfunction. So they keep calling you and you're part of the sickness. And now you going to feel it when you're nodding out on your job. And after a while, you get that write-up. And that might be where you had 2 write-ups, and that 3rd write-up, you get fired because of that leak.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Here they come, 89 cents. That throws your checking account of your life force into overdraft protection. If you have it, if you don't have it, all the other things that are coming out behind because you forgot about that 89 cents. Now there's something that comes out 2 days after, 4 days after, and you ain't checked nothing.
That's right.
Now you look at your account and it's negative 1,500. All because that 89 cents of a leech that got taken from you. So I don't know. I can't say that.
What in the world just happened?
I don't know. Please help me out.
What in the world just happened? I was sitting here and I'm like, okay, listen. Thank you so much for coming, Brother Lance. This was indeed a very, very informative, well-needed show.
It's an honor.
Jesus, I don't know if I have anything else to say. Didn't I ask you?
You could offer me $2 million and say, repeat it word for word. I don't know.
Listen, I do have $2 million right now. Repeat it.
$10,000 loan. I can't repeat that.
You couldn't even repeat it for $1.
2 or 3 years to pay it back.
Listen,
you got $2 million, so you can afford it. No,
listen, you are so absolutely correct in everything that you just said. I can't repeat it. I'm sitting here listening to you, and I'm like, okay, so where do I jump in with this topic? You know, because I asked you, we didn't talk about anything this morning or last night. You know, and so when you put this up, right? Yeah. My question to you was, you know, where'd you get this? And you were like, oh, it just came off my head. No, it didn't. No, it didn't.
I mean, it did. I worded it this way. I was going to word the title a different way.
Yeah.
You know, and for those who listen, and this is Empress G show, but she affords me the opportunity to sometime make up a title and in a subject. And
I afford you the opportunity all the time. What the hell are you talking about?
No, but you know, I woke up a little less or around an hour ago, and I
Yeah.
laid there for a while. And this was not in my head. It came to me. I'm not
Okay.
saying I have some guru-like divine connection, but in a way we all do. But
Yes, we do.
this is what I do, and it comes to me. And people go, well, the ancestors brought it to you. That divine whatever, and then
Yes.
roll with it. Like I
Right.
said, we don't have a script. You
No, we
know,
don't. We don't. We're circular.
yeah.
We
So
we we start at A and we wind up back at A, but it's not a
yeah.
straight line. You know,
And there are
we
certain topics that we have planned.
yes.
Do the
Yes.
laws of human nature book and going through those things.
Yes.
The things that pop up, interviews, or others who come on who are part
Right.
of the family
Right.
in the whole rotation. But with something like this, it can only be
Right.
fire if it's spontaneous and you're receptive and intuitive to what's needed.
Yes. Yes.
And on that note, it doesn't just have to be a friend, as we see in the chat room. And I thank you for your contributions, and fill the chat room up.
Yes, fill it up. Hi guys.
Yeah.
Brother Lance was so on fire. I didn't want to interrupt him or interrupt anything that he was saying. No. So I just want to say hi to everyone. I'm not going to go down all the names. I know people are jumping. Let me just say hi. Hi, Synovia. Romy, I already said hi to you. Hi, Eric. Hi, Unique Dawn. It's my show. Hi, Sunkiss Felicia. How you doing? Hi, Yvonne. Hi, Superman Heru. Hi, Julia. I'm so sorry to hear what's going on with you, hon. I hope everything works out for you. These friggin' was it a Karen or was it one of us? Because I mean, that's just not acceptable. Hi Indigo King. Hi London. Landon, how you doing? Who else is here? That's it. Hi Amir. Hi Queen Murat. Hi GM Williams. How y'all doing? Hi Ebony. Oh God, that's it. All right. Okay, guys. Hi, Angela.
Don't feel bad after that, because
I know. People are gonna start dropping in. Hi, guys. Good to see you all. Eileen, yes, Reese. Good to see everyone. Brother Lance, everything that you just said is so damn true. Everything that you said is so damn true when you're dealing with leeches. I'm not gonna tell anyone, and maybe that's one of the reasons why I didn't really chime in. I'm not going to tell anyone that I've really had experiences with people, being leeches on me, so to speak. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm too elusive. I don't know what it is.
No, but it's not everyone who's going to outside and get bit by the mosquito. You have a cookout at night, or some kind of gathering at night, and if you have 100 people there, maybe 13 get bit real bad. Maybe one of them malaria. That same malaria mosquito might bite somebody else, and their system's different. They don't get it.
Exactly.
So it doesn't mean that everybody's going to have the same level of severity with leeches or opportunistic people. And it's something that we have to continually be aware of, and it's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate, because we can be cast off as being the bad guy. You see, especially when, let's talk about families.
Yes.
You'll talk about blood family and the extended family beyond blood, that person who you've known a long time, and others will say as a friend, but they're like family. But even still, let's just talk about the blood family.
Right.
With the blood family, most of those who would be categorized as the dead weights, because you have leeches. Leeches aggressively, we're talking about humans now, human leeches, they aggressively go out to see what they can get. They come over your house visiting. Now, you don't realize they're a leech. It's okay if they see something that you purchased a couple of, where, man, you done bought 6 watermelons. Look, it's late. I'm tired. I'm hungry. I'll go back and get one for you tomorrow. You need to give me one of these watermelons. That's cool. But you got people that come, and it's almost like when they're walking through your house, we're talking about blood family members that don't live with you, that don't get around you every day. They don't live next door to you. They live across town, so you may see them tops once or twice a week. I only see you, baby, once or twice a week. With that song, 10%. That's what popped in my head. Anyway, they come over your house with the purpose of leaving with something in their pocket, not necessarily stealing it where you don't see it. And some of those are there too, but they come friendly and they say, oh, can I have this? This is so nice. And when they're walking through your house, it's like they're surveying. It's like the white lady back in the early 70s and late 60s who would come over the black woman's house who had children who would apply for welfare, and she's checking for the presence of a man to make sure he ain't there. But they're checking to see, as they survey your place, what's going on with you. Yeah. You go to the bedroom. This is a family member. They're not going to run away with all your stuff. But they go into your bedroom, or you go into your bedroom. You say, listen, I made this plate of food for you. Sit down here by the coffee table, eat, and give me 20 minutes to freshen up before we take our run out. Maybe you plan to go out. Right. And on the coffee table are your bills or the mail. And the way the coffee table, the living room is situated, you got the heads up when they come out of the room to know that I can hear that door open down the hallway or upstairs. So you know what? I'm going to take a look at their bills. And so now they don't pick up everything and look through everything and put it back down neat to show that they looked at everything. No, they leave it where it is and peel it back. You know, one of them tricks. Oh, man. How you know that so well? I watch somebody do it to me. So they peel it back. They put their hand on the rest of the papers and look at the one there and it's in the envelope. They pull it back. Oh, they got a cable bill and it cost them $150. And they pull back this other one. Oh, okay. They bought some books from Amazon and that was $26. And then they get to the other one. Then they get to the other one. And the other one is something that comes in the mail, which it should go into the direct deposit. But for some reason, she wants to get her pension check in the form of a check. Right. So they look at the pension check and it says $4,996 and 99 cents. And 99 cents always, right? And so that person who's a family member happens to know that their cousin or their sister or whoever it is makes bank every month. Paid for. They know that the car is paid for. Now here they are going through what you pay out as opposed to what you have left over. Well, you have they have a grandchild that they pay for their schooling, private school, and they do this, they do that. Oh. That's how they do it. Yeah. This is why you went on that cruise last month. This is how you went to Ghana unannounced and stayed there for a month. Yeah. You ain't rich, but if you have this kind of money and your house is paid for and your car is paid for and the only real bill beside the little bit of groceries that you get in different things. You could spot me some. And you've been retired for the last 5 years? 5 years times that amount of money. Let's not even say the full almost $5,000, but let's say 2. Right. 5 years, 1 year, 2,000 to put away, 24,000. Round it off and say 25 or whatever. 5 years. So you sitting on $120,000. You need to either give me some, or I'm going to come up with something as an emergency that doesn't exist. Or I'm just going to straight leech you. Every day, every week, they have a need. Yes. Leeches are conniving and move with purpose. Spiritual leeches, people who want to use you. And it's not even just, they just trying to hustle you. Because, you walk down the street, hey, bro, you want to buy some gold? And it's fake. And when you go to the appraiser, they don't want to do that because you're going to show them up. Right. You see what I mean? See, these people, and I would consider the street hustlers more innocent. See, the leeches in your life that happen to be family, since we're talking about family, because they have closer proximity to you. You're not going to bring a coworker who you heard has a crack problem and let them in your living room and give them a plate next to your bills and next to your check while you go into the shower to freshen up before you go somewhere for 20 minutes. It ain't going to happen.
No.
Right? But these people who are close to you, it's not like they're just looking to take. The lion who goes after the alligator, he don't hate him, but your ass is food and I'm hungry. If I was full, I wouldn't pay you no mind. But these family members who have close proximity to your finances and have an idea of what you do and how you do it and what you have in your pockets or what you have bank or what you have as far as free time or it doesn't just have to be money.
It doesn't have to be money. You're right.
Free time and you sitting there all day long and you watching TV and you in your garden and I got these screaming babies over here that's driving me crazy. To hell with that. You're going to take these babies. But see, that person who you're dropping the children off loves sex just as much as you do, but they knew how to keep their legs closed when they saw a man who wouldn't stay with them. Not to say when you have children, it doesn't work out that it was your fault. I'm not saying that because there's a lot of slicksters out here and we don't see the world as we do as when we get older. Right. So if you're 19 and had a child from this dude who left you, I'm not throwing off on you.
Right.
The point that I'm saying in this, because you can need help and say, can you help me? My mental health is off. Can you hold my children for me? That's not a leech.
Right.
So please don't misunderstand me.
No, it's the one that every week, listen, I know that part of it so well. Because I was never one to drop my kids off at nobody except my mother. I'll leech off of my mother.
Well, it's not a leeching thing. It's almost like a credit card. You take it a little bit now, you'll pay later. Because look who's taking care of her mother.
I know, but
Leeching Social Security.
Leeching Social Security. That was exactly what that was. That was my deposit. That was my deposit.
Take care of you when you get older. So could you do this for me? Because you know
exactly.
How much me gonna pull most of the weight?
This is now my withdrawal time. or her withdrawal time.
or withdrawal from the retirement or from the investment. Like I'm taking, I'm still keeping the investment, but I need this $2,000 right now.
Exactly.
I'll probably put it back.
Next to never.
But go ahead.
But anyways, no, when I first came up here, and I won't go, just in case one day somebody actually see my videos and go, oh damn, she's talking about me. Which I doubt that would ever happen. But
there are always similarities.
There's always similarities. But no, she would always, hey sis, I have to go so and so. I mean, they were nice children, but they were not. See, if I can't discipline you the way I would discipline my children, I have a problem. I have a real problem because I need to know that when I tell you to behave yourself or when I tell you to stay, in a certain spot or whatever, you stay in that certain spot. You behave yourself, And so it got to a point where I would, like, if I saw the phone ring, I was like, oh my God, because I never learned how to say no. And I'm just going to be honest. That's my downfall. That
was mine too.
Never knew how to say no. I'm sorry, I can't do it. Like, I know people will say no to me at the drop of a hat, and not even flinch or bat an eye, But
you're ready to say no before you get the last syllable of the sentence
exactly.
out. You finish.
Exactly. But for me, it's like, I'm like, oh shit, I don't want to do this. Okay, I'll take care of it for you. Whatever it is, like.
Even when you're going to be at a deficient because you might not even have the time. You're trying to squeeze time in, or the money may be a little lower or it's the wrong time, but and you can
just say yes.
Why am I such a good person? Yes. Why am I always the one with all these people around me to be the one to pick up the slack? And they depend on that. Trust me. Go ahead.
But you know what? Here's a flip side. Why is it that everybody feels like they're the only one to do certain things? Do you ever have a conversation with people and it seems like everyone is having the same issue?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Seriously, I think about that sometimes. I mean, it's like every person you could have a conversation with, we all have the same argument. Somebody somewhere is always taking advantage of us, and that's interesting. You know what I mean? That's very interesting. But think about that, guys. But what I was saying again, if you don't know how to say no, if your problem is being too accommodating to people, and you set yourself up to have to then go into a selfish mode, which then you're going to be looked at as being selfish, and you can't explain away the fact that, look, I have to preserve my peace of mind or my sense of self by being selfish, by saying no. You can't explain that away,
Right.
because now nobody wants to hear that. Well, hell, you've always said yes. Well, you've always done it. Why can't you do it now? Well, shit, my brain, my mind, my being, my psyche, nothing about me can deal with this anymore. I can't do it, you
But see, you
know?
don't have the right to have your gas tank low. It's always got to be full for
Yeah,
them.
yeah, exactly, exactly. I'm having a function here. Why don't you come? But when you're having a function at church or whatever, oh no, we can't come. That's something that we don't do.
And,
But
see, let me just interject. When you do go to the function, guess what? You don't just come on in at the designated time and leave on out and talk a little bit and leave.
no,
Function, you're the one taking the garbage out. You're the one cleaning up. You're the one doing the dishes. You're the one doing. That's why they want you there.
well, that's not
You
me.
know what I mean? But they don't do that. They out of there. They leave early just so they don't have to help out with anything.
No,
They
my
want
my my issue, I have the reverse issue. I have the issue where you go and two things. They either, because you don't know any of the people that is there, so you go and they leave you while they run off and socialize, and you're standing around like, okay, so what do I do now? Oh, let me say hi to this person over here and see if I can strike up a conversation, or you want to go home, but because you went with them because you didn't drive, or because you said, okay, let's just carpool and go together, you're sitting there twiddling your thumbs like, okay, so when are we going to leave? When are we going to leave? Nobody's thinking, okay, maybe we should just get going. I'm not here by myself. Those are the things that drive me crazy. It's people who you say yes, but they have no consideration for you once you've said yes and you've committed yourself to doing
Uh-huh.
certain things,
Uh-huh.
you know? Now, as far as washing dishes and cleaning up, I will help, but that's not going to be my main thing.
But you remember
Like,
the time you did it last time. And so now, you know, when it does come time to dealing with these spiritual leeches, don't ever become the designated one. Don't ever become that one who
mm-hmm,
they assume are going to symbolically wash the dishes. And
mm-mm,
so we don't wash dishes. And I know everybody's intelligent enough to know that, but lots
right,
of times they may want you to come to the function. They don't give a damn about you. They're not there for you. But when you come to the function, you're the designated taxi driver to drop everybody home after the function. And that's the real reason they want you there. It
right.
doesn't have to wash the dishes. It's because they want
Yes,
to drop somebody home, or they want to run out after the function and their kids are sleeping, but they want you to stay there a little while they go around the corner and do their little freaky thing for 2 hours and they can get away. They want to use you. I'm not saying we're going to walk around here paranoid and thinking everybody wants that, but this is most of the time how we have our energy leaks.
mm-hmm,
This is how we have our energy leaks. So
yeah,
imagine you're somewhere way up in the mountains and you have solar power, you have no other source of electrical power,
mm-hmm,
and you have a limited amount of this power. So what do? Do you leave the TV on? Do you leave the
right.
computer on? Do you leave all these other things on? Yes, the refrigerator, that's necessary to keep the food, cold and not spoil.
Right.
But do you keep everything on and drain down your power so that the next day or 2 or 3 or however long it takes to drain out, you have nothing left for what's important? Because how many times have you been used and drained, and everybody uses you as the all-you-can-eat spiritual life force buffet, and they gone, and you don't have a clue on how you're going to deal with your own challenges?
That's it. That's
See?
it. Mm-hmm.
And here's another thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's the point that I didn't want to lose it, but I wanted to say that in the animal kingdom again, you know, I'll repeat this. It's no bad feelings, y'all. You know, I'm the lion and I'm hungry and I want to eat that alligator.
Right.
And the alligator knows this. So the alligator say, hey man, I thought we were cool. He don't say that because he knows that in this order, this is the way it is. That lion's hungry and it's my job to get away from this lion. That's
Right.
just the way it is. So they move that way because that's the way the order is.
Right.
With us as humans, HUE, and I can't even grant a person who's on that lower vibration the HUE. You acting like the parasites
Mm-hmm.
of the planet, the real C19 of us,
Mm-hmm.
okay? Where there's no virus except our wits, and we have to know how to navigate around them. But you're merely a human, HU or humankind, when you act on this level.
Right.
When it comes time for this people to leech us, it's not because, well, this is just the way it is in this hierarchy. No, you have a higher mind and a higher brain. So guess what? There's always a touch, a little bit, or a whole lot of venom when they leech you, a feeling of entitlement. Because, oh, you got the almost $5,000 retirement check coming in, so you can afford this. And they have the resentment. So they resent you. So they have to deal with being around you, resenting you and not liking your positioning in this life, whether you inherited something, whether you worked hard for something, and you have been good to them, and you have gone over and above, and they resent you for that. So to get back at you, and this is deep,
Yeah.
they continue to siphon your life force because they'll come up with a reason in their head. Well, I don't have it like you, and you're lucky to have. Now, they don't tell you this stuff now, but this is in their head while they smile at you.
Exactly.
And leeches or people, let's talk on a monetary level now.
Mm-hmm.
Let me speak from something that has happened to me within the last 6 months. Personally,
Oh, really?
you can have people who have more money than you, and they resent you for the little bit that you have, because the little bit that you have mixed in with some sense, or what people say common sense, which is not common, but we'll just say common sense for now.
Mm-hmm.
You know how to stretch your money, not only just for the money, but you know how to be happy
With what you have. There you
with
go.
what you have.
Mm-hmm.
And here they are with their fractured relationships, the facade of happiness, or the realization that you have lots of money, but you realize that it didn't bring you happiness. So when you see the next couple or the next person happy that they're in the creative field and their money in actuality is more time,
Right.
indulge in what they love, and they're happy with that. They are not frustrated that you have this luxury car and I don't have this luxury car. No, Trisha, not yet. I plan on getting solar panels and doing a lot of research on that.
Right. I was about to answer that, but I said, no, let me leave that for you to answer. I know too much.
So no, you're supposed to know. Miss Tiva Sation, how are you, my dear
Hi,
sister?
sweetie. How you doing? Yes.
So they with their pocket full of money in comparison, they realize it doesn't do a damn thing for them, and now they really resent you and they want to leech from you. And the leeching from you is nothing that they can get from you as far as money is concerned, because they already have it.
Right.
But the leeching from you is stopping you from pursuing your vision, doing everything that you can to see to it that you must be in a survival mode. So they don't want your money per se. They want to keep you from your happiness. But since they know they have a little more money from you, more money than you, and you're on a budget, but you face the same challenges in your new life, they all of a sudden come with a smile on their face and they say to you, oh, we need to go to this restaurant tonight. And it's a good idea.
Until they make you go and pay for every damn thing.
Even if not to pay for everything, they pick the most expensive restaurant because they know that they're going to drain you eventually and hopefully you run out of resources to do what you came there to do. And then you realize, I don't think anybody should pay for me. But when you offer, they readily take.
Isn't that
and you're
something?
Not a leech, but you're like,
wait a minute.
I paid the last 2 years, and you got millions in the bank.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you want to see me siphon out. That's a form of that same kind of damn resentment.
Yes.
They're leeching from the back end.
Yes.
They're making you leech out instead of taking from you because they don't really need it, but they want to see you spend.
Yes.
And that was the goal from jump, to make you drain your resources, to leech it out so they can have the satisfaction of seeing you fall on your face. But when you already knew the prior year or two what the game was, you're prepared for that. See what I mean? Like my favorite motivational song by Rick Ross.
Yes.
And in it is, and I'm going to say the N-word, I see how these niggas planned, but I can react. I see how these niggas planned, but I'm ready for you because I knew you're going to do what you did. I know how to react, which in actuality, you already know you know how to act because I don't react to anything, because reacting means that the person who did the initial action controls you. And when they know you good enough, they can get you to do anything they want you to do indirectly because they can throw out a word. Or they can have somebody come at you a certain way because you know what? They gonna react a certain way. See, you go to a party or a gathering, and this person who's close to you knows you so well that when you have a few drinks, you might become combative. If touched a certain way. So they know the next person that's there with them, they can get them to say something to you that's gonna have you react to punch this person in the face and get you locked up. And they'll sit there and act like they're concerned, but they're glad that they put you in that position and they didn't have to do a damn thing. So you have to be careful on who knows you.
The instigators in your life.
Where they are controlling you. So anything you look to do, sometimes it may be a challenge and sometimes it may be hard. But guess what? When you have an impulse to do something without thinking, sit your behind down and think.
That's right.
And look for the pattern and look for the person, the hidden hand
that's manipulating you. Yes.
Always trying to get you to do something that's going to leave you in a sorry state of affairs.
Yes.
For their entertainment, for their self-ascension, to tell themselves, I would never do this. Look what he did. You see, your spiritual credit, they don't mind you messing yours up, but they ain't gonna mess theirs up. See? So there's different ways of leeching. So selfishness, I don't mean that I'm glorifying selfishness to a person that needs you. Always be giving and loving. I'm never gonna stop keeping the shirt off my back, but you have to deserve it, which means I have to know you and assess. And sometimes you're gonna get got. That's just the way it is. For real.
You're
gonna get, but that's part of the learning experience. You see? So,
and you know, there's that saying, if somebody says, hey, I like what you have on, take it off and give it to them, because there's going to be some envy coming behind that.
Yeah, no, that's true. But then see, yeah. I mean, sometimes you have to use your discernment, because if they see you take that shirt off too fast or that outfit off to give to them too fast, they say, okay, that was easy.
That was easy. I can do this again.
Because I've had people do things for me like that, but I never said, well, I like this or I like that. I might have copied them or said something, and they took it upon themselves to do it.
Yeah.
And I received it, and I received it well.
Right.
But I also, not always in a tit for tat way, but you can do something for them maybe on a different level.
Right.
You know, and see, those connections are divine.
Yeah, that's true.
These words that I'm speaking now have no place in a connection like that. When you know, look, if we have that connection, I can do for you 100 times and not look for anything back.
Right.
See? Like I looked at my Cash App, I looked at this thing, I'm like, Empress Elegy, I'm gonna get you publicly. See what I mean? Well, see, with those situations, that situation doesn't apply because that's divine. You're not keeping tally in that situation.
Oh no.
Only when you see an imbalanced thing, and again, it's not tit for tat, but the feeling that goes with it. And if you do say no sometimes to these people and they get upset, you need to investigate further.
Yeah.
You need to investigate further because, see, getting upset doesn't mean a tantrum. You have to look at the little signs. I had a party back in the 80s in my home. And it wasn't too big of a party. It wasn't a small thing, but they were all people that I knew growing up and knew and trusted to different degrees. Because you can't trust everybody to the same degree. You have to earn it. Stop trusting people blindly because they say the right things or they do everything just right. So it's okay. No, it's not okay. Because that could be the very one. Well, I had some speakers. I had, and back in those days, you didn't have the tiny speakers.
Right,
they would to come with the boys, the bold speaker boys, the bold speakers that were smaller. But for the most part, everybody had, in the world of speakers, let's just put it this way. The bigger the speaker, the more prestigious, the more powerful it was. So when you had these huge things that you can sit on, that you can only put in the back of a pickup truck, that meant, man, it's going to be a banging party. So these speakers weren't super big, but they were pretty big. And I had them in the living room and I had them up on, I forgot what this, it was on some type of dresser or counter or something. Then I had them up. I wanted them up. I didn't buy the stands for them because it was too expensive. Right. So the speakers, the bass, moved the speakers a little bit at a time, like a millimeter. Boom, boom. Eventually, nobody noticed, but the speakers got to the edge and fell down.
Oh, wow.
They both fell down at the same time. And most of the people ran over who were close to me to pick the speakers up. But there was one couple who sat not too close to it, but close enough to be concerned. They sat there and laughed their ass off.
Are you serious?
They were laughing their asses off.
Are you serious?
And I was in the next, well, not the next room, but the room behind the next room. And I could see straight through. It was a quick thing, but I caught the quick reaction and they didn't laugh for long. It was something that they cracked up for like 5 seconds. So look, when you fall as a kid off of a bike and somebody cracks up for 5 seconds, it feels like a million years. And
Yes.
And you never forget that. You could be a grown person and say, I remember when I was 8 years old and fell off my bike and everybody sitting up on the steps laughed at me. Right? So I never forgot that reaction because you couldn't have known that thing was going to happen. And it wasn't premeditated, but it gave me an indication as to what is inside your heart. It's the reactions that tell us what's inside somebody's heart. Because you come with the righteous action. Oh, Sister Ella, you look so well. Oh, Sister Ella, I had a wonderful time. Oh, you're the sweetest person in the world.
I am. Yes.
Exactly. They can do that in a premeditated fashion to set you up for the next 10 times when they see you. And on that 10th time, here they come.
Yes.
With their request. Maybe money, maybe not. maybe something you have a lot of. Maybe you own a shoe store and they want to get free shoes from you because they got 10 kids and they got, whatever, which, if it's sincere, you're going to do for them. But you got to be careful because it always comes with a certain amount of resentment when they're not authentic. When you're authentic and you're needy, if you ask for something, it does not mean that you are a leech. Now, if the person you're asking from the side of the person who's asking now, right? And you're asking this person who may have some resource that they don't have, sometimes the person that you ask may put that on you that you a leech. Or
right.
It's back to you and it hurts you because you were not asking in a leech fashion. But you really needed it this time. So people, please don't be afraid to ask a righteous person for some help when it's really sincere. And you let them know this is sincere. I do not do this.
Exactly.
Let me tell you something.
And sometimes you can have people in your life that makes you feel like you're a damn leech. And that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. But that's something else, because you have people who like the feel of power over you because they have and you don't. They will never offer you anything. See, so I'm not saying that everybody's a leech and you have something and you got to be selfish. I'm saying be selfish to the leeches. But you have people who want you to kiss their feet, kiss their backside because they have and you don't. And they're just teasing you by what they have.
Exactly.
I knew someone one time who would cash their check. They got this really good job and they would cash their check. Now, why is it that you had to come over to my house when my job wasn't paying as much? But when you cashed your check, all of a sudden you wanted to count the money.
Right.
And this was a government job that they had, and it was paying very well. So I would go to the restroom or go to the refrigerator. They may have asked me for something. But the bottom line is when I came back, all of these thousands of dollars, because they got paid every other week, but they did lots of overtime and all of this money spread out. And they act like they don't know how to count. So they needed help to count their money. So they wanted me as a boy to feel inferior. I don't have the esteem issues. I don't care if you have millions in your pocket. I helped him sincerely. And he got pissed because he went back to other friends. We were counting my money and I know he was jealous. How do you know? I was not. But you wanted me to act that way.
Right.
Manipulation can go so deep on so many different levels. And there's so many things we have to watch out for. And usually when you're attuned to the environment or you have experience with people like that, there are people around you who will swear up and down that it's not that way until their ass gets burnt.
That's right.
So sometimes even in those situations, you have to be quiet and let them see what's really around them, because you can try to tell them to the cows come home what you see, but they have to see it. And when they see it, lots of times they don't want to hear it. They're going to get mad at you at the memory of it. So now, unless it's something that's going to affect me, no. And I'm also going to say affect those who are not aware but would truly appreciate my insight into a situation. I'll tip them off. But the one who is gung-ho with the negative energies and leeches, have fun and party with them. I'll see you in a week or a couple of months when they're no longer in your life. And these people, they never want to see you do your own thing. That's why I said on this title, selfishness is self-preservation when dealing with the leeches. For them, you're selfish.
Right.
For the good people, you're selfless. Selfless. Don't let the bad people have the victory over your life by you clamming up and just, I'm going to be selfish with everybody. Now they won. Because see, in actuality, when the leeches see you do good for somebody who truly needs it, they get envious at your kind heart, because the leeches always have venom when they try to get from you. Because if you don't give to them, all of a sudden you're the worst person in the world. That's why you don't let the leeches have a peek into your resources. If you have a full day that you say you're going to stay home, or 2 that you're going to stay home and you took off from work, don't tell the leeches that. because they're going to come now and think you don't deserve the time to maintain balance in your life.
Exactly.
The leeches always have drama following them. They always have drama following them. Things go good for a little while, but they always have this instability going on. The real leeches, because see, you're their rock. They can depend on you. You ever have somebody leaning on you as a child, like say you're in elementary school and you're standing up in line and they're kind of leaning on you and you pull away real quick and they almost fall? And they get mad at you. Hey, man, I almost fell. Well, why are you leaning on me? I don't have to hold your weight up.
Right.
Hold your weight up when I choose to and I assess the situation. But when I see that pattern, don't keep coming to me.
Right.
Don't keep coming to me.
Right. You're right, Zenovia. He was very insecure. He probably grew up without money.
Yeah. See, when you have people who exactly, and see, that's their thing, but it doesn't mean that's your thing.
Right.
Because look, there was a woman who used to ride my bus, and I wrote a story about her on my blog, LanceScurv.com, and I dubbed the name for her. She was Sister Needy. Sister Needy. And after a while, I'm not going to say I despise this woman, but I saw her hustle and she was so gentle with it. And this is when I was driving the bus, and she would come on and the first words out of her mouth was, "Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord." So even if I may not be in the church or Christian or whatever have you, you're looking past the words they use, but you see the sweetness of her heart. Or so I thought. See, you can have little old lady, sweet little old lady leeches too. Ooh. Leeches don't always come aggressive. Leeches can be very passive and drop little things in your subconscious mind where you feel this need to do for them, but they're really sucking from you and they have a resentment towards you, and you have to learn how to say no. So this lady would get on the bus, Sister Needy. Maybe you could search it on my site. I wrote about it, right? She would always, like I said, come on, praise the Lord. The Lord is good. And she's just so overjoyed at how the universe is treating her. And she would always sit in the front. And on the old buses, you can sit right up and sit there and face the driver and have a conversation with them. I used to hate it when I had those buses because I always knew Sister Needy wasn't too far over the horizon. So here we go. Get over to Kirkman Road, over there by Carver Shores, late at night. And here she is. Praise the Lord. The Lord is so good. God is good all the time. Well, if he's so good all the time, why are you Sister Needy? So she's sitting there now. Well, I gave my last to the church this evening. And, you have to have faith in the Lord, because when you give, you will receive, and you have to give in faith. And my pastor and my pastors in the past always told me that every time I give, you'll receive it tenfold. So she was with that stuff. So I said, oh man, what's coming now? Now, before I knew what it was, well, I realized I don't have any groceries. Now, mind you, we're heading to Walmart, in the direction of Walmart. I don't have groceries. I don't have any food in my fridge until Friday. So wait a second, what the hell are you doing out here on a Wednesday night in the late night service, giving your all when for 2 days you don't have no damn food? Don't you think about hunger? So you putting this on church? I'm supposed to feel good that this is what you follow? Right. I ain't following that. Pastor, I'm sorry. First of all, I'm not a member of no church, but if I was, I got to eat, man, because I got to be strong and not dizzy to go to work. That's why I said in the title, self-preservation. Selfishness is self-preservation when dealing with the leeches, no matter what type of leech it may be. It could be the family leech.
Exactly.
It could be the friend leech that's only coming around you as a friend to keep tabs on your progress on the project because they know you got money and they're going to need you later on.
Right.
It could be that occasional leech that's out there.
Right. Here's the link to Brother Lance's Sister Needy blog.
Oh, somebody found it?
I did. What you talking about?
Oh, you found it?
This is the reason why this is my show, Brother Lance. This is my show.
Yeah, see the title?
I do have research abilities. I don't use it a lot.
How can one be in church shouting praises, worshiping all week and always be so damn broke?
Exactly. Guys, click on that link and read it at your pleasure. At your leisure.
I mean, that might be like 15 years old. I don't know when I wrote that. I don't know. Let me know. I know you pulled it up.
Hold on. Let me look. Let me go back and look. Let's see. September 13th, 2010.
2010? And that was years after dealing with Sister Needy. That wasn't after the first day. I think I've been dealing with her on the bus route for about 3 years before I decided to write about her. I told you I wrote about Sister Needy. That name in my life is something that I designate to certain people, not because they need it, but they were very manipulative. So the first day I saw her, and she just never took her eyes off me. She was studying my every expression. It was damn demonic how I mean, I'm driving the bus, I got to look forward, but I can feel her gaze on the right side of my body and my face.
Oh,
and she's saying the words that I am also diabetic, and if my blood sugar level goes, I'm like, man, and I felt it, but I was like, she got me. I gave her some money. She jumped off and went to Walmart, and I knew the Lord was going to bless me. I knew, and that was my last, which I had something to dip into, but that was my personal last, my play money last.
Right.
I was mad, and how do they say it? I'm not going to say the word. I was mad as a mug.
I hear you.
Because what I planned to do that weekend wasn't really a hangout thing, but I was going to get some particular things for me with the website, and I was going to order them. And, the website that I had, and that was 2010. That's when I had changed the website over to LanceScurv.com. It used to be ScurvOriginals.com. And so I had different things I wanted to get to add on. And I'm like, I gave this up because I knew she had me.
She got you good.
Like I said, sometimes you're going to get got. And she got me. And so now, why is it that Sister Needy always timed my bus? Because there were all types of Sister Needies and Brother Needies out there for different reasons that once they saw that, they figured, I can get it out of him.
Right. I
didn't mind letting somebody ride if they didn't have the money or the card. I knew the people that rode with me. There were people who purchased 30-day passes, and after the half a week, they lost it. Well, guess what? You've been riding with me for years. I know exactly what time you get in this bus. I know exactly what time you come back. I know you're going to work, and this is tight on the budget, but ride with me, and I'll make sure that you ride for free until the next month comes. I'll do that for somebody because I'm not losing anything. The bus can be packed, or we can have one person on it. I'm going to still get the same money on my paycheck.
Right.
So why not be and play a power trip?
That's what I hate too. People who act like, if they do something for you, it's coming out of their pocket, especially if it's a situation where not even so much that no money has to transfer hands, but it's not their money. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
They can more than help you. But they come at you like this is coming directly out of my pocket. That's what I don't like.
Yeah. You have government workers or people who, like people who are in position. It doesn't make a difference to them.
Right.
But they want to see, because those are the people who want to lord over you on a power trip. It's like a police officer who just is too much. He wants to have this control in a situation where he can let you slide, but because he can't control his own household or his own wife, he's going to take it out on you when you have your woman next to you in the car and you see he can see you or her snuggled up next to you, but he don't get that at home. So now he's mad with you and he's going to give you a hard time. See, it goes beyond the leeches. But we have to ask sometimes when people are pricks or manipulating, what is the reason?
Exactly.
Origin. It's like when I used to read comic books that were already out long before I started reading them. How did this so-called superhero or villain become who they are? What wiring? What made him? It was like with Superman. I forgot. Lex Luthor at one time was brilliant, and he was a good guy, but he had something happen to him.
Yes,
made him bad. See, so I like to dissect the trajectory that was there before I got into a person's life. That when I see certain patterns, like, okay, I always use the analogy 2, 4, 6, 8, and it's 10. It's never 13. It's never 2000. It's never 1500. If I say 2, 4, 6, 8, you should have enough sense to understand that I'm counting in multiples of 2, and the next will be 10. So if I just meet you, and I meet you at number 54, but I see this 54, 56, 58, 60. So if I met you at 54, I don't have to be around you for the years before, because counting back, I know it's 52, 50, 48, 46, 44, 42, 40.
Exactly. Are you there? Did he just fall off? Hold on a second. I think Brother Lance just fell off or had a power outage. Yeah, he's texting me right now. Yes, guys, he had a power outage. Don't know if it's gonna come back on, but we'll talk for a few minutes and see what happens. I just dropped the link. I just dropped some information in the chat for the book that we've been working from for the past few days. I strongly.
Okay, I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Through the computer. I'm going to try to do something I never did before. We have a power outage here.
Can you hear me?
The sound may not sound the same way because I'm working through the computer.
Hang on, guys. I don't think you can hear me.
And I know last night that I had got knocked off. So okay, you can hear me. Okay. Does it sound? It can't sound exactly the same. Yeah. That happens every now and then. In the area that we live in, this is what it is. So I cannot hear you, Empress G.
I know.
Let me see. No, I can't hear you. So what I'm going to do is go into the system and try to change the actual speaker. And maybe I can hear you through the computer. Let me see if that will work.
This, you see, guys, when we're talking good stuff,
time-wise, but at least
this is what happens.
I'm glad you can still hear me.
Yeah, it's out of his control.
There's a mic that I can dig up out of a old bin over there and see if it works, but we'll lose the flow and everything like that.
Yeah.
This is what happens. So this is why very soon I will have an independent battery backup, so this never happens. But I'm just so glad you can hear me. But I know the quality of sound is not the same.
Because
my other modules that's connected to the computer and the mic that I was using is disabled because of lack of power. The laptop has its own power, so that's why I wasn't knocked off. So I don't know if I'll finish making my point. This is a conversation. I didn't want to just dominate like that, but I guess we will end it now. But I just want to say that.
Hold on, let me see if everybody can hear you.
We're going to finish up this topic. And really not finish it up because it's something that we need to continue to go into. And it opens and segues up into other topics that we can speak on, because even things we talked about in this, it was like, wow, that's its own separate topic, you know. But these things happen, and unfortunately, it happened. But at least it didn't happen 5 minutes into the show. At least it happened at this point, which in my heart I was ready to go really for like another hour or so. But that's what happens. And this might last for 5 minutes. It may last for an hour. That's the gamble we take until I get my battery back up, which I'll hook everything up to. It'll be independent to what's going on. And it's funny now because now it's starting to rain real heavy again. It rained all night long. So there's a certain energy around this. I'm not going to say it's negative. I might be the alligator getting bit up by the lion because the lion needs something to eat. That's what happens. So anyway, I'm
look,
gonna
hold on.
yeah, the computer sound across the room is not like the mic that's right up under me that's high charged and high powered and everything with the equipment. I can't hear you, Empress G, but what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna have you, take your time and sign off. And you have the last few words. We're not gonna be done. We're not done with this topic. There's so much more to talk about, but we're not gonna let it defeat us. We'll just kind of roll with the punches and come back later on today. And again, I want to say thanks to everybody and everybody who's followed the show because yesterday made 10 years. We've been online for 20 years in so many months, but 10 years, August 11th, 2011, I did my first blog talk radio show and I would upload those to YouTube, right? So it's been 10 years of us doing shows, not just once a week, and 2 or 3 times a week I started, but after a while we were doing stuff every single day. And as you well know now, we do things several times a day when things are flowing right. Sometimes I do 1 or 2 a day sometime, but we press it. But 10 years, and we have over 4,000 videos, which most of those are shows aside from the things that we shoot in the street, right? Or just interviews or carrying the camera around and hanging out with us. So I just want to thank everybody. I said I was going to do an anniversary show on the exact day yesterday, but we'll do it later on, provided the power comes back on, which this happens frequently. And at some point, we'll be back together again that way. I'm going to sign off, Empress G. I can't hear you, but if you want to talk for as long as you want to talk, and I can't hear you, so you got to hit that button and end the show when you want to end it. Okay? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay.
Okay, guys. So it's just me and you and me against the world. He can't hear us, Linda. He couldn't hear me. So I was texting him as he was speaking, just so he knew that we were hearing and we understood exactly what he was saying. Like I said, everyone try to download the book. And I gave you the download information because, we're working in the book and, everyone's not going to want to go out and purchase it. I have the book, I have the download. We're going to be doing some really, really, really good topics because even the title of this show, I was actually reading something from the book this morning before we got on because I wasn't sure exactly what we were going to title it. We never discussed it. And it was so appropriate that when I saw this, it resonated with what I was reading. So there's a lot of stuff coming, that we're going to be doing. So thank you to everyone that's here, that stuck around, even though Brother Lance got kicked off. He's my perpetual guest. And this show is nothing without him on here. So I really do appreciate everyone that's still here. Try not to get caught up with people who are going to suck your energy, leech off of you, whether it's financially or emotionally. Try to stay clear of these kinds of people. And whatever you do, whatever is going on in your life, try your utmost best not to find yourself in a situation where you might become a leech to anyone. Sometimes it's unavoidable. And like Brother Lance said, you're not being a leech. You're just someone that has a need, but someone else will see you as that. So where it's possible, don't let them suck from you and try your best not to have the same thing happen to you. So on that note, go ahead and make it a good day, everyone. Thank you once again for being here. And, creator willing and the world last, We'll see you again on the rising, and as well as we may see you later. It just depends on, how things flow for the rest of the day. All right. So take care. Bye-bye.